So yeah, so Phoenix first pick.
Yeah, pretty appropriate. I think it's the only ban that I think that's like the weird one is the Earth Spirit.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think that's like? Do you think that like Secret would have like really likes it right now at the moment?
I mean, I just see a lot of value in Earth Spirit. He's good at roaming. Obviously worse than
but
he
do you
used to be,
think
but
Secret picks it?
Yes, that's kind of what I was getting.
I mean, I guess it'd have to be Pile I Die, right? It limits
No,
his
I
hero
think
picks.
it's a puppy hero.
Puppy plays that hero.
Well, he plays the 4 position. I don't think he plays the
I don't
hero.
think he
I don't
plays
think
Earth Spirit.
either of them play the hero. But if somebody's
which
going
is
to
why
play
it's a slightly odd ban.
yeah, I think it is odd.
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways, they rotate their 4 and 5 very often, though. Puppy will some games play Dazzle, for example. Other games he'll play the jungler.
Yeah, it depends on what they have. If they have a jungler, if they do, Puppy's gonna play it. If not, then he takes the more greedy 4 position.
That's exactly what I was
going
gonna
to
say,
Doom
too.
or
Exactly.
4 position Beastmaster or something like that.
The last time they actually had it was exactly what you were talking about. Is Puppy was playing Chen and Pi was playing the Earth Spirit like a couple months ago. But
I mean,
I do think it's a weird ban.
Yeah.
It's a good Phoenix counter too. So if they anticipate those first 4 bans, which are not that unusual, then you can stop the Sunray with a Rock Smash. You can silence it. It's actually a really nice counter for that. So if you do pick Phoenix and you counter the Sunray and he's pre-6, the hero's awful, does nothing then.
Yep.
If you just stop that channeling.
Happy to see the Mirana pick here.
Why?
I play a lot of Mirana.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
I just think there's a lot of Mirana haters right now due to the over-popularity of her getting picked in the qualifiers area and a little bit of epicenter. So almost every top team was picking her, going like Midas Eggs. She completely fell off in comparison to her pick right then, but she may make a comeback. And if you're playing her as a support, she's an okay solution to Enchantress, similar to what Crystal Maiden does, because you can just kill the neutral. So it really mitigates what Enchantress does in the early game a bit.
Really interesting how though, like you see Secret, they actually, I think that's kind of, I don't know if it's a respect, but I would say that it is, because I don't think Enchantress is like one of their like most prominent heroes, but art style, of course, like I was saying, he plays it all the time. So I think that that's like kind of like a deny and attributing to Puppy's Enchantress. But then going to the Mirana for Na'Vi, I'm kind of like weird that they picked it because they didn't have the greatest success at Dream League with it. I'm pretty sure they lost, I think they played it 4 or 5 times and they lost 2 or 3 of those. So a little bit interesting, but like you were saying, it is probably particularly just for the Enchantress.
Well, to be fair, they haven't been having a lot of success lately with a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Especially here, at the event in their scrims. Not a lot of success with a lot of things. I think they're trying to, throw something at the board and see what sticks. Mirana is a very flex pick. You can run it support, you can run it mid, even, in a lot of different lanes. And it is, like you said, great against the Enchantress.
Yes.
But this is the time to do it as well. First game of the group, you've still got a couple of lives left, and even if you lose all your group games, you're still in the tournament, albeit in the lower bracket. So if you're gonna mess around with something, now's the time, right?
Yeah, now is the time. But this match is really important. I don't think either of these teams are going to beat the loser or the winner of the other side in what is that? DC versus Wings.
Yeah.
So and then you go to the lower bracket. You're playing best of ones. This match is really important.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think DC Wings comes out of this group then, top 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Jug first 2? By the way.
I mean, it gives them a potential push scare, so their opponent team might be like, oh god, Secret's pushing, and then they could completely pivot. That's one really good thing about it. And just generally, Juggernaut is not a bad hero. He's good against some of the top picks, like Lifestealer right now, for example, can be countered with Omni Slash. He's got really high physical DPS. He can do farm heavy, he can push, he can go fast Manta style if they have silences. It's a carry that can just go so many different ways, and he's pretty good against everything.
So I feel here, Secret probably, I think they're probably going to pick Pi's hero, because now it seems like, actually no, so they banned the CM and the Wisp, so they banned 2 of Pi's most prominent heroes, because I'm pretty sure he plays Wisp, CM, and Lion almost exclusively.
Lion
I'm saying like those 3 exclusively are his like big heroes though.
Yeah. And Puppy often likes to leave EE and RTZ until last.
Yeah. I also was
doing
gonna
that an awful lot at Epicenter as well.
I was going to say as well that the Juggernaut is really interesting versus the Phoenix, of course, because spin, you can't take damage in the Sunray, but also you can spin and you can hit the egg while you're spinning, so you can't even get your attack speed slowed during that. So I feel like that's a really cool approach amongst the healing ward as well, which you were mentioning.
Yeah. Or you can remove it, the minus the attack speed.
Right.
Yeah,
it's also one of those heroes that sort of solves a lot of the issues for Secret. It is a very active hero early, so, like we said, Secret has really greedy cores, but Juggernaut can fight early. It's not like a Spectre or something like that. You can create some sort of space with it, and I've seen both EE and RTZ play it. In a scrim, Artur has sent it mid.
Okay.
Na'Vi
Travel Radiance or?
No, I think he went phase boots into Diffusal or something.
Okay, so actually standard.
Okay. So yeah, we do see the Lion coming out as we definitely expected, and Navi seems to be really heavily applying pressure on just like the Enchantress with that Witch Doctor pick. I see Void.
Yeah, that's I like the Witch Doctor, Void, Mirana. Those three heroes can integrate so well separately, basically, except for the maybe Witch Doctor and Mirana together are a bit hard to execute, but they can put Mirana with Void, they can put Witch Doctor with Void, and they can get a lot done. If that's the carry, for example, I could see them getting a lot done here.
And then mid-game, Sunray, Void. Sunray Chrono, boys.
Chrono is pretty good.
Oh,
yes.
man.
With the Witch Doctor ult.
With the Witch Doctor ult on top.
But if Secret initiates first in fights, the fights are over, as far as I'm concerned. Assuming there isn't like a Chronosphere to follow it up. If they initiate on Void, for example, with like Slaughter initiation to Enchantress right clicks or Lion Finger of Death, like they have so many different ways to set up ganks. It's just going to be Enchantress moves to different lanes, and they execute a perfect gank with whatever heroes they have. So I feel like Secret has tons of gank options here. Navi has some, but they're very limited around Chronosphere cooldown right now, and maybe Phoenix
Getting
Egg.
a good arrow or something.
Yeah, or an arrow, but that's super unreliable.
Cool, very interesting too that Navi picked the Void into the Lion. Usually you kind of see Lion as one of the better heroes versus it, but they do have, you know, the Juggernaut, which is, you know, not really like the, it's just a bit of damage over time until he gets his Omni Slash, so pretty interesting to see that coming out.
I guess they did need a little bit more lockdown with the first three picks. Slaughter and Chant Jug are very limited pre-Blink Dagger on Slaughter, so they might have some trouble starting fights, or at least managing deaths or limiting deaths if Navi does go in first. Lion helps a lot in that way.
I mean, what else were you going to pick for Pylai Dai?
I mean, he could play a lot of heroes very good, but Lion is probably his best one.
Lion's in the
arguably.
pool, guys.
Yes.
It's like Lion, Dazzle, CM, and Wisp. Those are his, like, that's the four I've seen him play, like, pretty much that's it for the past 6 months.
Yeah, so if they would have been able to get CM there, they could have maybe even done a Mirana core, but now they're kind of limited to Mirana support here, I feel.
I like the Clean Up Pain ban from Secret. We do see, you know, Dendy's been playing it pretty much, not exclusively, but it's probably one of his most picks, and now
should be could be a general bat, or could be a...
Yeah, I guess, because
could be a lot of things. Navi's draft is still very open.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be the short lane Void, Bat Rider off lane in the Mirana mid. Yeah, that's something that they did. I think at Dream League, I want to say, and I personally think that General is one of the better Bat Riders in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
So if it's Slaughter off lane from Secret here, that's going to give the supports a lot of space here for Navi. They can kind of go wherever they want. So I kind of like Navi's draft a bit, but
R-Tour Invoke. Oh no, I'm wrong. So it's Mirana on General, and it's a Dendy Bat mid.
it's an aggro.
This looks
They
to
can
be...
aggro this.
It looks like it might be an aggro.
They can aggro this with a Potom Arrow because they can just shut down the creeps right away.
Yeah, and Void,
or
that's
just
a really
steal
good,
them.
That is a really good point.
Just snipe the large camp right off the bat. Start the lane off with some gold. It's basically like blocking and while giving you gold. I think an aggro here is a good option, especially because they're worried about Secret being better players in the late game. Like, just aggro try. It's a little bit more common.
Very quickly, because we need to go over to our commentary team. Charlie, which team had a better draft?
I actually like Navi's draft better.
Okay.
I like Navi's draft better because of Phoenix.
Sunray picker
Sunray right here.
I like Navi's better, but if Secret goes about even or laning advantage and gets a fast blink on Slaughter, I think they're going to do way more mid-game.
Okay, it's very interesting. Sort of split decision here on the panel, as we've come to expect when we've got panels these days. Plenty going on. They've picked Secret for the match, but they like the look of Navi's draft. Let's find out from our commentators what they think of our first opening draft of the day. It's over to Odie, Pixel, and Gods.
When I saw the draft shaping up, it looked like Navi were going to be very reliant on the Chronosphere with their initial 4 picks, but with the last pick, Batrider, it gives them 2 forms to teamfight initiate. You can initiate with the Batrider, get a quick pick, turn it into a 5v4, but then you've also got the big teamfight wombo combo with the Chronosphere into Sunray. It sets up the arrow, the Death Ward, so Navi, I think they made their draft a lot more well-rounded with the last pick. For Secret, it's all about kind of avoiding those really terrible team fights, letting the Invoker go into the late game, and using the Slatter's Blink Dagger timing to great effect.
And look at this here. We've got the viewpoint on both of the runes. We will see. Indeed, both of the mids are respectively going to be able to grab those as we get ourselves in. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see. Look, Dendi versus Artur in the mid lane. Invoker versus the Batrider. How's this going to go for these two heroes?
It's one hero who's looking to farm in the Invoker, the other hero who's looking to play fast tempo for the Batrider. Invoker's much more that late game hero that wants to just scale, get his items up, don't really come to fights too much, throw Sunstrikes to help your teams out, and that's something where Dendi's going to really look to apply pressure. We can already see it here. Arteezy knocking the best block up is going to be under a lot of pressure.
And look at this. I mean, Seneca already giving it some against Puppey. General's come across as well. He does have an arrow. He's going to try for it, but Puppey, he'll head down to the south and juke that one off. But yeah, General coming away from his lane there for a little bit of early action, and it doesn't look like it's finished yet. You can see at the moment, coming forward, they've got the Hex onto Seneko, Pylai die, forcing him back away from the side of Secret. And looks like it will just be that as Na'Vi back off. But already a lot of attention and aggression around this mid lane.
Yeah, just a casual 3v3 mid lane, both supports from both teams hovering around. This is something Na'Vi always have a bit of a tendency to do, which is prioritize Dendi's early game because he's such a playmaker for the team. Secret, though, looking to poke back and keep Dendi away from this tower.
At the moment, Dendi certainly has been getting away with a fair bit. Hit 4-4-1-3 for Zero Artur.
And you can see even like his item build going for a Null Talisman as his first starting item, not something you normally see on the mid-bat. Normally you'd more likely see a Boots Rush, just get some branches and Tangos, get Rush a bottle, but a Null first item, a very different approach to playing the mid-bat.
And as we can see in the bottom lane that we've not really talked about, meanwhile, it's pretty much quite a nice lane here, of course, for the man on the Void, Ditchara. He should be getting a lot of space with the help of the Witch Doctor against the Slardars. And we can see that in the CS, 7 for 2. Up to the top, though. Envy's the one coming out on top on his Juggernaut, 9 for 5. General's up here trying to contest the farm, trying to get what he can as Mirana. It feels like it should be a bit of a free switch lane.
That's where Na'Vi first stage picking a Mirana is just so versatile because 4 players actually play it on their team. Running it in the offlane for General, he's completely comfortable in this hero.
Absolutely. I think if we go back to one of the interviews I remember having with him on Dream League, he was asked which hero would he want to be known for playing, and he said Mirana. It's one of the heroes, it's the one he enjoys playing the most and feels he's got a lot of potential on. So definitely worth keeping your eyes out for General's Mirana to play this game. Pi. Now this is one of those runes that certainly can make stuff happen. He's picked up an Invis. He's heading towards the top. Fortunately for General, at the moment backed out of the lane and low mana, not even enough for Elite. We're unlikely to see him head back up there. So General will play it safe, just back up and clear up some of this side camp.
I think this is the kind of slow-paced, more passive laning stage which Team Secret are quite happy with. Something that Charlie talked about in the panel is that they've got 3 cores who all generally want their levels, want their farm. Universe prioritizes team fighting and needs levels and farm to be effective, and that's kind of what he's getting. He's got 8 CS, but as an offlaner, hitting level 4 at this time, getting some CS here and there, this is kind of like a dream start for a Universe offlane.
As you can see, just the moment, Kuro coming in, Snake are going to pick up some wards, always worth keeping tabs on. As it comes down towards the mid, just in case there'll be potential of a snipe, but at the moment it is just Artur again back on his own.
Yeah, he's been bullied a bit in this mid lane.
Yeah, you can see that Bat having the slight edge at the moment. Dendi, 14 for 3 against the 9 for 4. But as you said, this is the classic way that Na'Vi like to play. You know, they always have Dendi +1 in the mid lane. And I mean, it works out. We've seen in a lot of the games recently, and a lot down to recent success from Na'Vi, is because Dendi does get this good start, and especially on these playmaking heroes like the Bat, it allows him to keep control of the game and keep a good tempo going through to the mid game.
Yep, with the early bottle crow happening, he's going to just keep on spamming in this mid lane. Arteezy, and he doesn't even care about giving Arteezy 17 one charges. He's not looking for a kill right now. If they ever go for a kill, it's going to be such that the actual one charges don't matter. They're going to bring in a 3rd hero if they have to.
Yeah. Rune cam at the moment, Puppey securing the bounty top. There is an arcane bottom. Looks like it will be picked up by Universe as he comes in on the Slardar. We'll see. Unlikely he's going to necessarily be able to do anything with that, apart from at the least maybe spam out a couple of annoying crushes on that bottom lane. But still, 2 safe laners, Ditchara and Envy, 32 for 13, still favouring the man on Secret list, 27 for 7 on that safe lane.
Going to look to make their first move though. They've smoked up their 2 supports and are heading towards mid. This is
a good move.
This is them going for like an early first blood or possibly a tower. They're not going to find the Mirana here.
They're desperately looking for General. I mean, General's been really smart with his positioning. Really. He's kind of been all over the place. We saw him at the start, involved in the 3v3 aggression mid, headed towards the top, but you know, he heads back. He's found level 3. He's not leveling as great as Universe on the Slardar, but he's not dying. And you know, I say that he is heading up here now We'll see if this smoke from Secret does end up paying off.
He'll see the heroes now. They start hitting the tower, and now he kind of knows what's going on. Even if he walks into play,
cheeky drive by Arrow, and now he's fine. General.
And he actually wanted one of the neutral creeps there. He's trying to slow down the push by arrowing a neutral creep, ideally drawing aggro off the tower, but looks like this tower will go down. So Secret, they get the objective, which was to them perhaps more important than finding a kill on an offlane, although it is first blood, so that first kill becomes a little more valuable. But Secret's looking at the big picture. They're looking at objectives more so than just a pick-off hero there.
Yeah, and I think it just shows as well, at 5.5 minutes in, how close this matchup has kind of become. Because we're not seeing anyone making huge mistakes. You know, no one's died yet. There's not been a first blood given up. Both teams playing safe. But if you look at the overall picture, you've got to say that Universe is finding a little bit more on his off-lane role. Envy, the slight edge in CS. The mid lane, I mean, that's where it's kind of going the best for Na'Vi, and it's all going to be down to what Dendi can do with the lead that he got early on this BAT CS. As we can see, 29-12 against the 14-7. Back on the rune cams, anything going to be found? It's nice. Top lane, double damage for Envy. Bottom will be the bounty. No one's going to head down there for the time being. But I feel like at this moment, it's all eyes on Dendi really for Na'Vi. Yeah,
and I think the one downside of the dual lane setup with Na'Vi in the mid lane is that Dendi's very under level. He's only currently level 5.5. It's beyond 6 minutes. This is normally where you'd see your mid at level 6 if they're doing well. So Dendi, free farming away, but hasn't got the XP. He has got stacks to fall back on, which are likely to happen soon. He can fall back, take the stacks, give the mid lane to the Phoenix. Looks like they attempted to go to kill Nartizi, but slightly fumbled it.
This is risky, because now Dendi, well, this looks like this could be your first blood. Secret, they're ready to capitalize on that. We talked about it early. You're unlikely to get that kill on the Invoker, so a little bit of the first mistake there from Na'Vi trying to make a go, and Secret, as talked about by the panel, they're the kind of team that's going to capitalize on these mistakes.
Yeah, that was a misdive. The flame break didn't quite push the Invoker in the direction he was hoping for. General at top, considering going for a kill, but doesn't go for the leap in.
He needs to be careful as well, because Secret, as soon as they've done that kill on the mid, they head back towards the top. Envy's got an Omni if he needs to use it, and he's going to pop it. No point kind of messing around there. Another clean kill for Secret. And it's suddenly, these two kills, the fact that the start, the laning was already going fairly well for this side. Now they're going to get a bit of pressure onto the tier 2. It's the momentum that Secret were looking for.
It's just been very polished play from them. They've read Na'Vi's movements well, and this is something where you can see they've done their homework, whether it's 1437 or Puppy, checking out the replays, knowing when Na'Vi are likely to go for that aggression and baiting them in. Arteezy's just there, knowing that he has the backup behind him. If they go on him, that plays into Secret's hand.
And we can see at the moment from the creep stack status, Dendi started to clean up some of these camps, so he is going to get that timing on his items. It's, as we were saying, just all about what he's going to be able to do with it. And who he kind of looks for first. He's 1300 towards the Blink. Once he gets that Blink online, where are you looking on the map for kind of the pickoffs, the kills, and who are you looking to team up with? Is it joining Ditchurara and trying to look for a good Chrono?
I don't think the Bat with the Void don't have the best synergy because you can't go Fireflying into the Chronosphere, you get trapped inside it yourself. So more likely we see him team up with the Phoenix as well as possibly the Mirana. And then basically you send the Void and the Bat Rider off different directions. Mm-hmm. Either of those heroes has great kill potential when they use their ultimate, but they need one of these cores with a Phoenix Sunray or with a Mirana Arrow.
They can make a go with this fight. If they can close the gap with a good bounce or two, so that you get the last one to get it. The Flame Break back, bringing Artur into the reaches of Dendi, and it's a clean pick off for Na'Vi.
They actually give Artsal a lot of experience prioritization here. Hitting level 6 at 8 minutes into the game, he rotates. And again, these supports are very important for Na'Vi this game. This is not a game where you can afford to have them fall behind on levels or on farm, because the Death Ward, the Sunray, these are crucial tools to make the Void pick and the Bat Rider pick work. Void and Bat don't have much damage output on their own. They're very reliant on their teammates to get kills.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Void. We haven't really talked too much about Ditchurara, but the fact that he has had this space down bottom, he's got the Vanguard. He's going to be very hard to kill if you're Secret. I mean, you are relying on the lockdown of, well, either the Slardar being able to close the gap or having Pyround on his Lion, but the Void is going to be a tricky kill. But then at the same time, are you that bothered about killing the Void at this point in the game? You're probably just going to look elsewhere if you're Secret, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you're more worried about him TPing in and rotating with a Chronosphere and winning a team fight, so I think for now, until they get possibly a Finger of Death on... Well, Finger of Death is actually up soon on Pilot Eye, so that's where Secret can look for their next smoke rotation around that Lion Finger.
Yes.
That can head towards someone like the Bat Rider of Dendi if you can kill him before his Blink. Possibly the Void is also a good target, he's just a much harder target, so if you want to go for the Void, you need to commit possibly 3 heroes. You might be able to get away with 2 heroes plus a Sunstrike.
We'll see. indeed what the next bit of play is going to be for the Siders. For actually, looking back to Dendy, I'm not sure after that kill on the Invoker that he was involved in. He must be pretty close to that. Yeah, that Blink Gold Jandy, just a couple of hundred away.
He's going to finish these stacks and actually have his Blink Dagger up. So Artstyle taking the mid lane, and Artstyle not just levels, but this is a support player who often plays very greedy and gets a lot of farm on heroes like Witch Doctor. So we're going to see him start working on his own economy. They're using scans to actually try and scout Dendy out in his jungle. I really like that play from Secret. Even though they don't see Dendy with the scan, it's something which tells them, hey, Dendy's not there. Why isn't he jungling this camp? Does he have his Blink Dagger yet? And
Absolutely.
having just got the kill at mid, it's very likely that he's about to hit his Blink Dagger timing.
I can see that they're trying to make a go here with this vision that they placed down earlier with the earlier movement, and they're going to find the initiation with the finger, ensuring that they get themselves the kill. Artur a little bit late with the Sunstrike to get himself involved, but nonetheless, it's a pick-off there for Envy and Pi. Now Dendy, as you said, smoking up behind the tier 1, but let's see how well Secret read it. They did scan. They knew that he was no longer farming that area of the map. Maybe they're aware that this is going to happen. We'll see how safely Secret play.
Yeah, this is possibly a kill on Envy. He's got a Vid booster, so he's very tanky.
Oh, he just walks in, goes for the TP out, and there's the lasso. With the Maledict, the Death Ward, he's going to be able to spin himself away from Maledict and magic damage, and in fact, he gets himself
Level
out.
4 Maledict, but he's got healing ward, so...
And yeah, Puppy's there as well to tend to the wounds of Jacket. So yeah, Envy's going to be fine. So there we have it really. The Blink Dagger reveal, it's not as, well, it's not what Na'Vi needed or not what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And Secret will be very happy that they now have that confirmed, that the Bat's got it online and they don't lose anymore.
Yeah. Don't lose anyone. Doesn't set Na'Vi back tremendously. It would have been a great pickup for them. It would have really kind of given them some momentum to move forward, start taking towers and objectives. And speaking of which, there hasn't really been any objective attempts from Na'Vi. That's something which their lineup is going to struggle to do unless they really pull ahead on kills. So heroes like Bat, Void, Mirana as your cores, you're not looking at tower push.
I mean, instead of it, because yeah, the Ditchara's been very static on that Void. He is level 8 now. We yet to see him do anything with the Chronosphere. It's going to be interesting what the way, how he plays this game. I mean, what is he waiting for? Is he waiting for a certain level to be hit on, say, kind of the supports until they get to a certain position where he can go for a Chrono, they can throw some spells in, and it will be enough to get some of the kills on the bigger cores? Or is it just that they feel it's preferential to have this farming Void so he can start to pick up the DPS items himself?
Yeah, he's playing the more greedy carry role. He's playing, well, I'd describe it more as reactionary. If there's a tower dive, he will always be TPing in, as was the most farmed here in the game. He wants to be in any team fight, but Secret's way of dealing with that is to say, okay, let's not team fight because these tier 1 towers still up in mid and bottom. That means the Void is always going to be able to get there. So they don't want to team fight in any scenario where Void can catch him by surprise. And Void's response to there being no team fights is just to farm. So it's kind of like just a bit of a rock, paper, scissors match between the two teams in that sense.
And as you can see there as well, they just get themselves laid down another ward. It already allowed them to close the gap and get that kill onto General. Maybe it'll happen again for Secret, as they just keep that vision deep over the side of Na'Vi's map. Other item timings, just before the 12-minute mark, Artur finished off his Midas. You're looking at Universe, 1,500 gold towards the Blink Dagger. Mid lane, Ditchara comes in with the Chrono, locking down onto Envy. They've dropped the Death Ward as well with the Maledict, but he put it in the Chronos. The initial few touches were there. It doesn't matter because they do finally bring down Envy on his jug. Only just the final touch of the Death Ward bringing him down. But yeah, Na'Vi needed that, and there we have it, the first Chrono, and used to great success just to take down the enemy core.
Yeah, Teacher very much just... The fact he spent so much time farming the bottom lane was really just throwing Secret off.
And look at this as well.
Too,
yeah, Dendy, this is the classic kind of play for Na'Vi. They keep the ball rolling, they find one kill, they look for a second, and as you said, Dendy finding the positioning, ready to jump in. Now with 2 heroes down, the space is here for Na'Vi to push on, take a tier 1. But yeah, this is exactly the way that Na'Vi play. As a team, that you see them grouped up as 5, 13 minutes in, and well, what's the answer from Secret going to be? They're going to pop the fortification, get Envy back in. He does have an Omni Slash, so Na'Vi will need to be careful and do back off. So unable to take the tier 1, but a couple of high-value kills, and Na'Vi losing nothing off the back of them.
Just such aggressive play. You have a Mirana who's getting involved early on. You've got a Witch Doctor who max Maledict, a Void with a Vanguard, which in a lot of ways, this is an aggressive item more than a farming item because it makes you so tanky that you can come to fights and not worry about getting blown up during the chain disable of a line to at least some extent.
I think as well as smoke up time for Secret. All
such
ults
a classic
online.
Envy play. They've scouted it, they scanned it though. They know exactly what's going on.
Oh, this could be a little bit true. We're going to see 40 minutes away. If there's a good room, oh, it's a double damage bottom. Oh, who's going to grab that? That's going to be fantastic for this Roche fight. But
Death
Roche
Ward
is
and
falling
everything.
quick with the Amplify. Let's see what Pi can do to hold it off. Didgerard jumps in, looking to take down the line first, but the finger comes out. They've already lost the Witch Doctor. Pi will be taken down in turn. Didgerard, can he play his way around this? He's still got the DD, but he hasn't got a Chrono for 20 seconds, and Roche is already down. Arteezy gets the Aegis. So support for support trade, but Secret getting away with the Roche and getting away with the Aegis. They'll be fine with that one.
Yeah. A few important things there. They had the Sentry already in place, prepped for the Moonlight Shadow. They also knew that Chronosphere is on cooldown. So Secret go for that, kind of recognizing that unless Na'Vi are there really early on and get a great like Batrider initiation, which is hard without the Force Staff. He blinks in, he lassos. If he gets stunned right away, Dendi gets blown up. So without a Force Staff, it's very hard to initiate around that Roche area. And Secret managed to get away with the Aegis. So really nice. Bit of a risky play, but it pays off.
Yeah, as you can see there from the Courier, maybe a little bit of a reaction to that play. Sentry's already coming out, so ready for the the next fight around that situation, so they can get the D wards on the sentries that are down. So they feel that they've got a bit more space to play around with the Moonlight. 4-4, 15 minutes in. Secret, with the most recent bit of an edge, thanks to that Roche. What Universe blinking in onto Suneko. There's your Sunstrike from Arteezy. And they'll make that 5-4. A nice pick up there from Universe. Does get this reasonable blink timing, and I think a lot of eyes have to be on this Slardar, because Universe, as they were talking about in the panel, he is a man who likes he needs to get his item timings. He has got that this game, and when he does have that, he can single-handedly just destroy a match. So they've got to be very aware of Universe jumping in and making these blink initiations.
Oh yeah, this is like going to be already it's been a great game for Universe and will continue to be so. And that's something which I think Secret, at least Universe, matches up well against Na'Vi because their supports prioritize that mid lane so much. This is a team that Universe will just naturally get more farm and levels against. So we're going to perhaps see Universe thrive a lot more in this series than some of the other series, because during Epicenter he was struggling against all these teams who would try lane against him, completely shut him down, and then he's unable to have a mid-game impact. So far so good, the Secret off-laner.
Well, Ditcher as well going for the Oblivion stuff, so I imagine that is going to be the Echo Saber.
Yep. Yeah, just picked up the Ogre Club. Very good stats, and Void's a hero that can sometimes have some slight mana problems with the Chronosphere.
Yep.
Makes him even tankier beyond what he already was, so see where he goes after this, because I imagine that's where the build really becomes open. You've got your Waga Radiance build. I think more likely you see something like a Diffusal type build coming out from Void. Always very good, but there's plenty of item options for a hero like Void.
Seems for both sides as well. No one really looking for the action at the moment. Well, we can see Puppey just continue to pick up levels and farm in the jungle on his Ench. He's now level 8, and with the Dragon Lance 600 gold on top, he's certainly getting the way to being quite a scary force. And you got to look as well with the kind of the lineup that they've got, the fact that they can have those frontliners like the Jug and the Slardar, just so it's hard for Na'Vi to focus an Enchantress on the back lines, throwing the impetuses in.
Yeah,
certainly happen.
And that's where Puppey's happy just to play this more passive farming game. All 5 Secret heroes at least getting some decent level of farm considering their role. On the Na'Vi side, you've got a Phoenix who's kind of fairly low. Artstyle doing not bad. The Mirana's getting out-farmed by Slardar. Everyone's kind of being out-farmed by their counterpart on the other team. I guess if we look at the Invoker as the main carry of Secret, but to that extent, I think Secret getting a lot more out of this early game. And it's surprising to say, like, oh, Secret's going to play greedy and get away with it, because Na'Vi's a team who normally punishes greed, but they haven't been successful so far.
Yeah, see down bottom, Dendi. For an opening, the Moonlight Shadow has been used to give him a chance to close this gap, but Secret already on the retreat out. Doesn't matter, Dendi jumps in, grabs out Puppey, the Starfall, the nuke damage. Is it going to be enough to burst this man down? Bringing him back in the Sunray, but it looks like the heal. No, it can't. No, surely not. No, Sunray, of course it won't. Comes through, will take down Puppey.
While top, though, Dietrich forced to defensively Chrono just to keep himself alive. I mean, with the slow pace of this game, a Chrono just to save yourself is not too big a deal, although last time we saw a Chrono, Aegis went down. This time we may see Secret, upon Enchantress's respawn, go for some towers, because without the Chronos here, it's very difficult for Na'Vi to teamfight.
Na'Vi trying to stick around for this last hit on the tower, but Arteezy's going to get the deny, and now they're in a bit of trouble. Artstar being closed in upon by Universe. Oh, he's going to get deleted there by the side of Secret, so they get the tower deny and a kill as well. Obviously, earlier on, they did deny the tier 1 down on the bottom lane also. So in terms of the overall gold, the progress, it feels like, we talked about this from the draft at the start. Na'Vi, they go for these kind of playmaking heroes, and it feels like they're not in a position that they would have looked to be in, considering what they've drafted against Secret's lineup at this point of the game.
Yeah, Secret's going to hit a Blink Dagger timing on Lion. They're going to have dual blinks with Slider already having his. Invoker's just going to probably start tanking up even further, going towards late game items like Aghanim Scepter. Na'Vi just seem to be like always one step behind. Like as far as they're gonna finally get some key levels or an item or two. Like they got the Echo Saber, but they don't have quite enough damage to kill off Secret. And by the time they finish off their next item, they're again going to be like one step behind Secret. So it just feels like there's no easy kills for them to get, and no way for them to ever really pressure Team Secret, at least for the time being. And the other thing is you've got an Aegis for that, or it just expired recently, but during that previous 5 minutes, Na'Vi also don't want to take team fights into an Aegis Invoker.
I mean, as you just mentioned, just this timing that Pi's got, and the fact that he's nearly level 11 as well. I mean, it's to the point where some of these heroes have got to be scared of the line, even just on his own. Yeah, it's going to be pretty terrifying.
Lion on his own with a Sunstrike. That's
that's you kill him. I mean,
something over like around 1100 single target damage after reductions, I want to say.
Oh, here we go with smoke. It was by that dire ward, so I think they might have caught the edge of that Secret. Let's see. If they can get the wraparound onto Pi, I mean, at the least, maybe they can get a line kill. Immediately, the stun and the blink away. Pi, he was ready for that one. And they're not going to be able to catch him by the looks of it. No, okay, unless they try to commit Chrono, he will. No messing around from Na'Vi. They'll drop the Chronosphere for Pi. They will get the kill. Now Dendi, again, looking for more. Grabs Natus, bringing him back. Can they get away with this one? The Supernova coming out. Digirock closing in. The bash is there on Natus. He's falling low. He's going to get bashed again. Is he going to go down? Yes, he's been caught out by the Supernova stun. They'll get Arteezy as well in Na'Vi. Seneko flying in. The bounces, the cast. The Maledict's down now with the Death Ward. Pummeling into Poppy. Can Na'Vi find more here? Digirock caught out of place out next to the tower. He can't chase for anything more. Puppy will get himself. Is the heal going to be enough? Now the heal should be enough. Only just. But Na'Vi there, again, doing what we saw them play earlier, where they get one kill instantly. Dendi's already in position, looking for the next one.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where a lot of times you see your big teamfight ultimate Chronosphere blowing on a solo line, you're like, oh, you're in trouble. But it's that secondary initiation factor of Dendi. He's already chasing, looking for that next pickup, and he barely managed to get the 4-stuff away after the lasso. If he didn't get that 4-stuff off to pull Arteezy into the Supernova, that would have been a terrible fight for Na'Vi to commit to. But really get great egg coming out from Seneko and put Secret on the back foot. This is the kind of plays Na'Vi need to be making. Very good smoke usage, and they're kind of continuing to at least apply enough pressure on Secret that they're kind of keeping up on farm right now.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the very, very scary thing, the fact that Na'Vi, even if they don't get, they haven't got the ball rolling as kind of as hard as they wanted to in the earlier stages, you can never write off just the combos that these guys have got with these heroes. You know, just one Chronosphere into Supernova. There's a reason why I can't remember the last game that was let through in a draft. So many times teams are very aware of allowing a team to have the Void Phoenix combination. Na'Vi have got it. You know, they've got to be scared of Secret.
Yeah, and it's not like Na'Vi, it's like, well, your carries aren't doing amazingly well. Like, you've got both, well, Bat's not really a carry, but you've got Moran in the offlane with an Aghanim Scepter now. Yeah, General right now is only in 6.3k net worth, but he's going to quickly accelerate and probably will out-farm Dendi probably within the next 8 to 10 minutes. And at that point, you've got kind of this 3-core lineup with a Witch Doctor who also packs a punch. Artstyle has got his Aether Lens, building towards what looks to be an Aghanim Scepter now. So times are looking a lot better for Na'Vi, and I think they've just kind of adjusted their overall game plan to go much more into the late game, recognizing that Secret themselves are playing passive, trying to scale, and just play things slow.
Yeah, I mean, Artur, he's been finding the space. 3-2-1, he's nearly got his own Aghanim Scepter. So at that point, we'll certainly see Arteezy step up what he can throw into the fights. He's already been doing quite a lot anyway for the team. He's been looking for those Sunstrike potentials. At the same time, that's another thing. I mean, you can see Pi with his positioning. He's really looking for kind of the blink, the hex that is set up for the Sunstrike, but Na'Vi, for the time being, aren't giving it to him. Yeah. General has come down here.
That's just like such great map awareness.
Yeah, they're just playing
Na'Vi.
It so safe, Na'Vi.
Yeah, no one's even trying to. I say that I'm probably going to curse General.
Yeah,
he's going to walk up to
classic
farm.
casters curse it.
He didn't farm at the tower, and then now
he comes out. Okay.
Oh, leap, friend.
Yeah. Oh, hey! That was a beautiful stun. I think Pi was a little bit surprised himself that he hit that one, and he's actually going to pay off his life here. He's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you can see Na'Vi actually 5-man TP top, and I think the call from General was like, okay, I think this top lane's a trap, but I'm going to go into farm, and I'll bait the trap, because the fact that he didn't farm at the tower and then he farms the creep wave further away from the tower was like, whoa, that's like, why would you not farm these 10 creeps at your tower but then push out further? So Na'Vi, very much a calculated risk when they sent General there, knowing that they'd counterplay it. But it's Secret on the other side of the map who actually get the better exchange here. They're going to lose a Lion and a tier 1 tower, but taking Roshan once more, very much favoring the Dire side.
Absolutely, they'll take that every time. This time getting the Aegis over onto Envy. So maybe in this game they want to try and go for some pushes here with this Jug. We'll see how much Na'Vi want to put in the pressure on this top lane. It's all being spotted out, though, by the side of Secret. They know exactly what's going on up here. And they're just going to ignore it and avoid it for the time being. Obviously letting Na'Vi get away with that tier 1, but as you said, they find their favourable trade. And Na'Vi, even, they're not going to stick around for the tier 2, already retreating back onto their half of the map.
And even with an Aegis, it doesn't seem to me that Secret are going to be able to just group up, go for any kind of big push. It's Na'Vi who have the teamfight advantage with their initiation from Void and Batrider, and Slaughter not bad when in terms of initiation, but he puts himself in such jeopardy. Anytime he goes for a Blink Crush, he has to catch either the Void or the Batrider and basically take out one of the counter initiation tools of Na'Vi, but that's the beauty of having two. When you saw the first 4 picks of Na'Vi, it's like, oh, their draft isn't that great, because if Secret ever kill the Void and they initiate on him, the fight's just lost for Na'Vi, but now they've got the Bat, it means they have a way to kind of counteract that. So, next move's coming out soon. Envy, close to level 16, having that maxed out ultimate does become a bit of a teamfight beast then, but gets still tricky for Secret to take objectives.
Absolutely. Arteezy's just picked up his own Aghanims, as you said. I mean, Envy as well in terms of the gold. He's got about 2.4k gold available. There's a blink now on General, so we will be able to see him. Maybe try and attempt to jump in and help burst down the backliner's Light Puppy, get himself in for the Starfall and be able to leap away.
It's still unclear what he wants to go for. He saved up 3.2k, so if he wants to go full team fight, goes for an Ags, but I don't really feel that strongly like an Ags is the item here. I think he can go for some actual physical damages. He's like the physical damage for the team, so going for a Butterfly, the Radiance build seems perhaps a bit more preferential.
Yeah, I mean, Butterfly was certainly great here, because the question is who builds the MKB? I mean, Arteezy's not going to really want to be getting it on the Invoker ideally. Maybe the Jug picks up one, but at the same time you'd imagine Jackie wants to look for other items first. Oh, we'll see now Secret what they're able to achieve with this one. They're smoked up. Ditcherar's got a DD up top, so if they do manage to make themselves round towards the mid, I mean, if you can get a Chrono, get a few slaps in, Ditcherar could certainly punch back, but we'll see what kind of opening Secret get here. Wrapping around towards the mid, the ping's coming out.
They're very much smoking around this level 3 Omni/timing, but
yeah.
Not finding any targets initially.
Oh, straight away, look, they tried to jump in
back
onto Pi. Pi got the blink out in time, and now Universe catching out Artstar, the Sunstrike as well. Artstar being bursted low, but he keeps himself alive. The Supernova coming out. Now Secret are going to be careful. Envy Blade Fury trying to get himself away. Puppy's being dragged back into the Supernova range, and now the Sunray comes through. Arteezy taking down Puppy as well. They've lost 3. Secret maybe make that 4 as Ditcherar in general chasing down the Juggernaut. The bashes come through. They'll find one. Can they kill him a second time here? The arrow timing. Oh, it's nothing less than perfect from General. Triple kill for Ditcherar. And Secret with a smoke that ended up going absolutely disastrously. Just great reactions there from Na'Vi.
Yeah, Secret even had the sentry on the high ground to see the Moonlight Shadow being used, but Ditcherar found the Blink Chrono online. Again, this one hero Chronosphere, but taking out, it's the follow-up damage. He's actually a huge amount of the burst damage. Arteezy doesn't get the best spell landing coming out from his combo. He doesn't actually dish out that much damage in the team fight, and Na'Vi just out-executing Team Secret in that fight. Just great play all around. Everyone just getting full value out of their big ultimates. The Supernova was well placed. Yeah, it's just a one-hero Chrono, but you got it on a very key target.
Absolutely. I think this is kind of just one of the strengths of Na'Vi compared to Secret that a lot of people would have appreciated coming into this. You know, just their team play is incredibly tight. Whereas you look at towards Secret, I mean, yes, they've got the star players, the individual performers, but when it kind of comes to those kind of high-octane situations, it's not surprising to see Na'Vi be able to, as we say, just come out on top.
The synergy still just seems to be a little bit lacking for Team Secret. The early game looked fine, but that's because it was very slow paced. They didn't have to team fight. There were some nice movements from Pi and Puppy, who've been playing together for a long time with their support duo, but now that we're seeing these kind of more mid to late game team fights happen, Secret just don't seem to all be on the same page.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Secret do now. I mean, in terms of going for another smoke, maybe they'll hold it off, especially with the fact that they were smoking with an Aegis. This time they don't have that. So they may fall back into kind of the passive play we saw earlier, just continue to get that farm up on Envy and get more and more space for Arteezy, who's still sitting there. He's behind General, Ditcherar on the Void, who's sitting at the top of 15,000 net worth on his Faceless Void.
Daedalus pickup, so he's going for a big single target damage item.
I mean, this is not a Void build we see every day. But then again, we don't see a huge amount of safe lane void.
Yeah, he's gone for, like, he's got the extra attack speed from the Echo Saber, so works out quite. It's more damage output than a Butterfly, and it's just like all-out aggression. I think he's just basically decided, I've got 2k HP, I've got a Blink, I've got Time Walk, I'm not going to die.
Zeep top pie, maybe seeing if he feels he's got the chance to jump in a burst general with a finger and Sunstrike from Arteezy. But if he does try that, Ditchera, of course, is going to be there to potentially react. So Pie's just playing it safe, and General knows he can play like this. He knows that he had the backup of Ditchera around. Now Ditchera backing up. He's going to go down to the bottom. So now General is on his own. General needs to be a little bit careful up on this top lane. He's coming very far out, and the Universe jumps in, gets the initial crush, and with this amount of lockdown, there's no way the Secret can fluff this one up, and they won't. They'll get the kill onto the Mirana. Yeah, General's just coming a little bit too far out there on the top lane. Bottom lane, there is a Chronosphere, and Arteezy. What's he doing here? He's very much dead. So, I mean, whereas General makes one blunder, it's your Invoker, your mid laner for Secret, making the blunder in return.
Our friend on the Twitter comment asked for some Kokonas, but I think we're going to get a different Twitch emote for that death.
Yes. And that was, yeah. Well, Envy needs to be careful as well. He's just come out to pick the rune, and Dendi, he's got a lasso, and Envy will get the Blade Fury off in time, but it might not matter. You've got to remember that Ditchera is doing a hell of a lot of damage with these right clicks. Envy does get the Omni out. They're not messing. They'll pop the Supernova here. Ditchera just kind of juggling Envy near the Supernova, so he comes out the Omni Slash. He still dies. And it's just little things like this which just make you feel that Secret, they're not all there yet, guys.
And Na'Vi are all there. That was so well executed. Dendi commits the Force Staff to initiate, pulls the jug all the way back, and Sneeko knows if he Omni Slashes me from the high ground, I just pop my egg. Ditchera's not going to die. He's got Vanguard as well as Time Walk, so every little thing was done well. And also, he can't TP out. Dendi held onto his Flame Break, so there was no way to TP out after the Blade Fury. Everything from Na'Vi just being so well synergized within this team.
And a tier 2 as well to boot here. More gold into the bank of the boys on the Radiant. I mean, I guess when it gets to it, because we've got to start to consider it now, because Secret, they only have one tier 2 left. When it comes to high ground defense for the side of Secret, I guess it's still relatively good, but at the same time, I feel that Na'Vi, they've got some great heroes for breaking the high ground and just jumping past the tower, you know, considering the Chronospheres, the Supernovas, where you can just dive in and go, that they could create space to push up to the heights. So it's going to be very interesting to see how well Secret can hold their tier 3s and racks when it does come to it, at the inevitable point of the game that it looks to be moving towards.
Yeah, I think you're totally right that Na'Vi, they may not have the hero to actually right-click down the building quickly, but having these big initiations, like diving past the tower, Na'Vi's specialty is going to be what their lineup can do. Your Void gets farmed enough, put an Aegis on him maybe as well, and he'll just blink past Chrono 1, 2 heroes, even if he only Chronos and kills 1, like it's still an initiation. It still turns it into a 5v4 scenario. In general, he's going to keep on scaling into the late game, has his farming item in the Aghanim Scepter, since then has picked up Travels and Blink Dagger, has overtaken Dendi, and next up is let's catch up to Envy and farm, let's catch up to Arteezy. He's just going to keep on farming more and more as this game goes on.
Yeah, it really is impressive, as you said. Yeah, as I was saying at the start, it's a hero he loves playing, and we can see why he's having a great time at the moment.
Yeah. I don't think Envy's gotten any value out of this Diffusal Blade pickup. With the team fights that have happened, he'd be much better off with going for the Blink Dagger before the Diffusal, and I think that's been a big mistake for Jackie. The team fights have just completely gone backwards for them.
Dendi kind of playing with this. You said, you know, Na'Vi are a tower diving group of specialists. Dendi unable to find any vision on anyone. He just headed up for a quick peek into the base of the side of Secret.
Yeah, for Na'Vi, they'll likely at least wait for the next Roche. That's something they've probably... They look back on this game and probably say, okay, like that second Roshan especially should not have been given up when we were the ones in control of this game. Let's make sure that we keep the lanes pushed out as much as possible. General, he's often, like he died last time at this top lane alone, but that's partly because his job right now is to be that kind of expendable hero who solo pushes out top lane, puts himself in a bit of danger, but you have to keep this top lane pushed out to control the Roche area. If you let that top lane keep pressuring your tier 2, after that it starts pressuring on your tier 3, that's when Secret get another Roshan.
Envy, I mean, he's playing very perilously here, coming over into the jungle of Na'Vi. He's getting away with it as well for the most part. Na'Vi are around and down here, and they obviously do have a lot of catch. And with this smoke, they're going to be able to use it. Let's see where they're going to head. It looks towards the mid lane, maybe. Maybe seeing if they can try and catch someone out inside the jungle. Yeah, pings onto Arteezy. With this vision that Na'Vi have over the side of the Secret's jungle, they know that he's up and they know that he's around. The question is, Can they actually turn? Because you can see that both Universe and Pi are up there if Na'Vi find their way right up to that top lane. But at the same time, there's 4 of Na'Vi. There's only 3 of Secret up here.
Yeah, if you're Secret, you're like, okay, we see them around the top. No one else is on the map. Those 4 heroes can be anywhere.
And here we have it. RTZ's walked into it and straight away they jump forward. They should have... do they not? Yeah, they do. Okay, here we go. They've got the vision down. They'll take him. They'll find it with a gem on Dendi. It's an easy pick-off onto RTZ once again. And the rest of Secret just bailing out of there. They know that they, but Universe and Pi, they can't do anything to save RTZ. They've got to save themselves.
It just feels like Secret are now in this funk where they're not really trying to stick together. They're just sending out everyone as single heroes to split push. Like Pilot Eye's going out on his own to get wards up and look for kills with the Blink Dagger initiation plus Sunstrike. You've got Envy just pushing out lanes to farm by himself, trying not to die. Split push.
Oh! That was close. Nearly. Yeah, a second early and he would have been able to drop the Chrono and get that one.
But
and Envy lucky to get away there.
Yeah, Secret are just seemingly lost. This is something that like the old Cloud9 used to have problems with in a lot of Jackie's teams. They get to these late game stages and all they can really do is fall back on this kind of split push style, avoid fights, keep the lanes, like kind of like the Rat Dota type play where you just keep the lanes pushed out, prevent your opponents from ever going for a push because they always have to worry about a side lane. Like what Envy's doing now. He's at top lane pushing this out, knowing that once Na'Vi finish taking Roshan, he wants to make sure they can't just straight go for a push down mid lane. But this doesn't win you the game, it just drags the game out.
And I mean, with that Aegis, do you feel that is going to be what Dendi do? I mean, for the time being, they're going to send General up top to push that lane out, but the rest of the 4 of them, they're still mid. I mean, at what point, if you are Na'Vi, do you look to try and push onto the tier 3s?
It'll probably happen quite soon. For General, you can see he's firing arrows over the tree.
Oh,
lane,
he's hitting
finds
them.
Universe.
I don't know if he can follow this one through. In fact, well, he is. Blinks in, leaps in. He's going for the kill onto Uni. Backup's going to be there as well with the Sunray. Dendi blinking forward, and General...
What a player.
General Marana, boys and girls. General Marana.
So the game plan for Na'Vi is very much, we want to be able to push high ground, but the only way to do that is to keep this top lane. This top lane is constantly plaguing them. But General, as the one to push it out, he just fires an arrow there to scout. He's just like, look, I'm always going to be alone, so let's kind of cover my bases, get some vision, see what's going on, and happens to find Universe. And now the lanes get pushed up. And again, it's not just the bottom, it's the top lane, it's now also the bottom lane. So this is going to continually happen. General's going to have to keep TPing back alone. Likely we see General get picked off here or there unless he plays it perfectly. But his job is to be the counter pusher. Secret, their overall game plan is to keep these lanes pushed out so Na'Vi can't go high ground.
Yeah. And as we saw in the top lane there as well, just General continuing to do what he did on the side lane. Just, as you said, throwing the arrows out, getting this vision, which is great against the side of Secret, because you look at the way that they've been playing, Pi and Universe, half the game they have been hiding in the trees. That's what these heroes do.
Yep. And unfortunately, once you get to your high ground defense, it's not something you can necessarily rely on.
See how they do look to defend it. Ditchera.
I wonder if they do. Jackie's got a double damage, which is going to wear off. He does not have a TP, by the way.
It's such a hard fight for Secret.
This is classic Jackie Mao. No TP, enemy pushing high ground. He needs to get back, or that he needs to go for the split push at bottom.
Oh my goodness, he does.
Arteezy's also, they're going both heroes down bottom lane, almost as if they're going to try and go for a trade.
I mean, did they just let this fall? I mean, at the moment, it feels like that's what Secret are doing, and Dendi jumps in onto Puppey. He's going to drag him into the rest of his side. Universe gets the crush off onto Ditchera, but General jumps in with a burst of the Starfall. The Enchantress is gone. And Na'Vi continue to pound away the tier 3. RTZ desperately looking to split push here down on the bottom lane. Na'Vi, they don't care for the time being because they're pushing harder. They're onto the racks. There'll be a buyback from Puppey. Envy jumping in with the Omni Slash. Nice crush as well. Finger onto Dendi. Dendi's got Seneko. Gets the chance to get the Supernova. Ditchera with a Chrono onto 2. Universe has gone Pi as well. Ditchera is going to be able to find Envy as well as the Supernova stun comes through. Jackie's dead. Puppey's on his way back to base. This would be a dieback if he goes down, but it looks like he'll be fine. Ditchera hasn't got the punch to fight for Untouchable, but nonetheless, Secret losing 3 bottom lane. Arteezy continuing to try and push forward on this bottom, but he's got to get himself out. And Na'Vi get away with that.
And if Arteezy gets the melee racks there, I think you're at least okay with it for Team Secret, but he survives them at 250 HP. A great Blink Omni Slash initiation from Jug. Unfortunately, he got a bit unlucky and he didn't kill the Phoenix before the egg. They do still kill the egg, but it requires a lot of extra time where Enchantress and Jug had to keep attacking that Supernova to bring it down. They buy some time. They did have to use a buyback on Enchantress, 1 buyback on the Phoenix for Na'Vi. So I like the overall approach to the high ground defense. You can kind of see like the like the Puppey influence on this team as well as the Eternal Envy influence, where it's like they've got this great game plan to kind of trade Raxes in these kind of desperate scenarios. These are players in a team that just does so well when they're in these what look like almost lost position to defend your high ground. They find a way to make the best out of a bad situation, but Na'Vi, they cut their losses, they keep their melee racks alive.
As we can see, Na'Vi now kitting up ready for that kind of style of play. The fact that Ditchera now with the boost of travel, so someone else is going to be able to head back and join in. E-Blade's now done on General. So this man, he can jump in. I mean, he can easily burst down a hero like Puppey. Actually, you've got Universe closing in on him. He's actually going to miss the crush. So he has to get himself out.
Yeah, and having the Ghost Scepters, the E-Blades, is going to help against that Omni Slash a little bit. That's where the Envy Diffusal Blade will pay off, although we haven't even seen him use a single charge yet. But very much a game that Secret's going to have to play perfectly from here on out.
And Pipe just trying to get some vision out. Ditchera. It's going to be get caught coming up here, so Secret. Yeah, no one hanging around for the time being. This will all be spotted out by this Warden. The Universe knows it as well, and with his Shadow Blade. Sneaky, sneaky, fishy, fishy. He's off.
Yeah, can't get the kill by any means. Keep vision here, something that has not been dewarded, so see what Navi's next move is going to be with the Aegis expiring very, very soon. They just want to try and take fights, but they know that Secret's going to keep avoiding them. If they show too many heroes in one lane, the other two lanes are going to immediately be TP2 by Arteezy or just ran to by our Envy, and they're going to go for split push. So they have to be very careful about how they approach things.
Let's see how heavy they want to go into the spot lane. Na'Vi for the moment. Once again, General just been headed at the top to deal with this push. This starting to come in here from Arteezy once again, as you said.
And this is the right idea from Na'Vi. Send General top, counter push the lane, and then TP and rejoin his team. But when he TPs to rejoin his team, he needs to try and make sure that they are committing to a fight.
Yeah, Arteezy, I want to try and go for a he's got Universe coming in as well. They could certainly go for an attempt onto General. He'll throw out the arrow, but it's not going to give him any vision, of course, on this Shadow-Bladed Slardon. Here we have it. Crush into the combo. General, can he save himself from this one? Oh my goodness, he has. Because here's the backer from Ditchera coming in with the Chrono. The arrow onto Artor, and there's just Samurai burning down onto Universe. Na'Vi hitting back hard. The backup is there for General, and what looked like an easy kill for Secret. Well, Na'Vi said, no, we play as a team. And they just absolutely crushed Secret in that trade.
This is a team of 5 superstars versus a team. That is what this feels like. Secret just feel like a lot of individual players sometimes working together. Like you've got 2 players trying to work together there, but they're not looking at the big picture of Na'Vi are ready for that. Like they have a response to that play, which just works out so well for them. Envy.
Oh, these cast bounces. A little unlucky here for the side of Na'Vi. If they bounce back over to Envy, maybe. He did have the Blade Fury, and he will get himself out. Ditchera continuing to chase. Chrono for 50 seconds, but Dendy's there. Oh, Pi tried to dump him, but instantly Ditchera bashes him down, turns towards Envy, takes down a second. Artstar with a double kill. And again, I can't remember the last time we saw a good bit of action for Secret this game. It's just been Na'Vi for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, and Na'Vi have just completely figured out Secret's approach to the game with the split push, looking for these pickoffs, and every single time Slardar, Lion has gone for a pickoff, Na'Vi are using these boots of travels, they're TPing in, they're backing each other up. They're already prepped, and that was something Secret did well in the early game, where they backed up Arteezy, baited Arteezy, and it's Na'Vi's using that exact same strategy
they caught Ditchera, Tornado, EMP in the finger, they found one. Can they find themselves anything more? They need to, Secret, if they want to continue to hold. The buyback's there from Envy. Puppey's starting to move forward, but Na'Vi already backing out.
Great burst damage, didn't let him get off the cheese.
Look at this, hanging around for the high ground. They're going to go in with the Supernova. Envy's going to Blade Fury, start to punch down on the egg. They should be able to avoid. Oh, the Chronosphere! Ditchera coming in time. They've already lost 2 Secret. Envy's going to be in a lot of trouble. I gets the Omni out, but it might not matter because Puppey falling low. Connects to anything here while Universe is coming with a 4-man crush. Looking onto Ditchera, but that Puppey is in so much trouble here, getting bursted down by all the magical powers of General on his Mirana. Universe forcing himself back up. But again, just this play, and in a position where it looked like they were just about to take down the Phoenix Egg, and Ditchera just coming in at the last millisecond with that Chronosphere, and Na'Vi are back in, pushing into the tier 3, ready to break the base, and you just got to ask yourself, how are Secret stopping this one?
At this point, their 2 carries don't have buyback. If they try and initiate a fight...
Oh, they're going with a crush, Envy. Looking to close down onto Digirock, and they bring down this man. Oh, no!
Whoopsie. Arteezy's lassoed up, and it looks like, okay, a disconnect happened. Dendy managed to blink in, dodge the Slatter crush as Universe initiated, and...
Is Digirock going to have a chance to time walk?
He's got cheese. He's cold snapped up, but he should be fine to get the cheese off in between bounces, so...
Okay.
Looks like he should be okay. He can just pop the cheese right away if he wants to be really safe. So, looking like the possible end for Secret. If they lose Arteezy here during this lasso, it's all over almost. And that, he actually got cold snapped in return. It was a Lotus Orb under the cold snap.
The Lotus Orb. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, let's see how this pans off. Indeed, if Digirock is going to be able to cheese himself. Let's see if he's ready to get... Yeah, there we are. Lovely bit of cheese. And with the Death Ward on the sidelines, it's a level 16 Aghanim's Ward. Secret, 3 dead, no buybacks available. General coming in, nearly killing Envy in the base there with another beautiful arrow. He's still trying to go for it. He's like, come on.
I got Ags.
Oh, man. General just playing with Secret in the base. At this point, I mean, Secret, they're going to have Puppy back up in 15, but there's no Universe, no Pi for a 45 seconds, 65 respectively, and they're onto the base. Na'Vi, Pi jumping in, just a Hex off, but then he's there, Hardstyle as well. They'll find themselves Pi-Light die. Envy's going to go down as well, and GG is called. Na'Vi, 32-11, in a very convincing performance, and a lot of people may be looking to this major, ready to see a Secret